Hello, my name is Mark Takashima and I'm here to talk about the Korean War. Mainly, this is a war about North Korea wanting to communize the whole Korea. North Korea is a communist while North Korea isn't, and North Korea is being allied with the Russians. North Korea and Russia are planning to take over the South Korea, but the South Korea allied with the United States couldn't let that happen. If the South Korea and the United States do not fight back, the Russians and the North Korea will think that the United States will not fight back if they communize the world one by one. General Douglas MacArthur commanded the US forces to hold off and start fighting back at Busan at the southernmost tip of Korea. The defense was very successful and MacArthur commanded US forces to go on and still push back the North Korean warriors until they kept pushing and went over the 38th parallel. 38th parallel is the border between North Korea and South Korea. The two sides were having a big arm race. Arms race is basically having two or more parties with the goal of having superior forces and weapons, and it's a rapid escalation of technology. MacArthur kept pushing his soldiers to force and fight until the northernmost tip of North Korea. Suddenly, the Chinese had false thoughts that they were interested in taking the North Korea as a base of operations against Manchuria. The People's Republic of China secretly sent troops army across the Yalu River. While President Truman wanted to end the war quickly, asking President MacArthur to be more tactful. Truman no longer wanted more sentence death, but then MacArthur wanted to stop communism alongside with the North Korea, making Truman and MacArthur with a big misunderstanding. After the big misunderstanding, President Truman relieved MacArthur of command before gaining the support of the Joint Chief of Staff. Ridgway took MacArthur's command and held communists to the north of the 38th parallel. While the war was still ongoing, there was a peace treaty talk that has been happening between the United States and the North Korea. US also intimidated the communists, saying they will strategically bomb the communists if they do not negotiate with the peace treaty, and so they are willing to negotiate while the war was still held at the 38th parallel. Both parties are willing for a ceasefire, but then they can't because of the issue of the prisoners of war. They don't know what to do with them, like what will happen if the communists imprison the non-communists at the other way. But President Eisenhower was voted and found a solution with these prisoners. It is to give them a choice to where they want to stay. And so the United States and the North Korea agreed on the proposed solution and signed a peace treaty in 1953, leaving nearly 5 million people dead, and 10% of which are civilians, higher even than the World War II and the Vietnams. Almost 40,000 Americans died in action in Korea, and more than 100,000 were wounded.